I am a very clever wolf man!
Yes!
Just like in the story.
Just like in the story.
You hear a slight smirk, like a smirking sound. You see that Sybil has woken up, has propped herself up on one elbow, is removing her hand away from her mouth. Her face is completely deadpan, and there is no expression on it.
Sybil. He's on so many drugs
Sybil,
right
he's on
now.
so many drugs. Also, Sybil, you can laugh openly. We're not going to tell anybody.
Do you want to get in on this? Do you want to make him say something?
Sybil struggles to sit up in bed as a nurse rushes over to help her, and she says, "There is nothing to laugh at when my crown prince is in such a state." But the moment Antonia's eyes flick away from her, you see the faintest, tiniest hint of a wink.
Okay. We should probably, for the princess's sake, we should probably disentangle those two.
Perhaps. Artie!
Never! You'll never take me away out of his arms!
Artie, we gotta go back to our room.
Wow, that's all it took, huh? That is literally all it took.
He's so high right now, I can't be mad at him.
Artie, we gotta go back to
I'll
our
get
room.
mad when he's sober.
Artie, I've got some fish in my bag.
Max says, "You got fish? Can I have some fish?"
Do you want the cheese kind or the fish kind?
Yes.
She reaches into her bag and pulls out what basically amounts to Eberron goldfish and puts them in Max's hands.
He goes to town on them, probably spilling crumbs all over himself and Arturos, and he offers Arturos some.
Artie eats out of his hand.
He literally has him eating out of his hand. Oh my god.
Nom.
There is suddenly a loud knock on the door,
She looks over that way.
and a guard rushes over and opens it and says, "We were not to be disturbed." And you hear a faint voice from outside. It says, "I'm very sorry, sir. You said not to be disturbed except if the orc woke up."
Juliana stands up. Tries to.
Artie, we gotta go back.
Jill, you immediately fall to your knees and a nurse rushes over and helps you.
Who woke up?
The half-orc
The
who's in a
half-orc.
coma. He's awake.
He's awake?
Yes, my lady.
I think we need to give Max some space and some time to come down from his incredible opium high.
Sounds good to me.
Antonia is just kind of blue screening. Varas is trying to extricate Artie from Max's arms with no success, and
No, you can't take me away. He's
the
like
guards
rubbing
are very
cheeks.
confused and don't know what to do. It's like a cat.
Yeah, they're rubbing cheeks together like, you scent mark me. You can't take it away if you scent mark me.
Ew. That's my husband. Gross. Win?
Yes?
Win?
Mm-hmm.
Can you handle this? Can you get that? Can you guys just meet me there?
I'll meet you there. Go ahead.
Great.
Max says, Babe, before you go, can I have a kiss, please? I love you. Can I have a kiss, please?"
Oh, are you serious?
He, makes grabby hands at you.
Fine. She will hobble over very quickly. Peck. Go.
Do you peck on the cheek or the lips?
Lips.
You peck him so quickly on the lips, he has no time to react, and then off you go. Now, just checking, that's the second time you've kissed him, ever, in your life?
Yeah, that's number 2.
Very good. He says, "Okay, go hang out with your orc and stuff. I'm gonna sleep.
What?
I'm gonna sleep now. I'm sleepy."
She looks around. Yeah, my helmsman. Let's go.
Win, do you stay with Max, or do you come with him? Sorry, come with Jill.
Win is going to stay until Artie leaves, so she's still with Max.
Oh, if Max has gone to sleep, he's like,
Let's go, Artie. Let's let him rest.
You heard that though, right?
We all
I'm
heard
not
it.
Dreaming.
You're not dreaming.
We all heard it.
We all heard it. Let's go back, bud.
Why can't he be high all the time?
Not all of us are as in tune with our emotions or as open with them.
Eh,
Do you want some little wiggly fish, bud?
no.
No, okay.
Let's go see Lachlan.
Let's go see Lachlan. and she scoots out on her stool, and then says, "Scooting race," and will scoot hurriedly back towards the other one.
You'll never beat me.
The two of you bust out into the hallway on your scooters, nearly bowl over a servant carrying a tray,
Sorry.
then realize you have no idea which way to go, and Varas very concernedly comes out and starts to lead you back towards the hospital proper. Antonia raises her hand in the slightest of farewells, but otherwise just appears to be blanking on what the fuck happened to her brother.
Wynn waves cheerfully back as she scoots along.
So many drugs.
Varas says, as you travel along the hallways, I am truly so very sorry. This is my fault. I must have given him too high a dose.
That's really hilarious, actually. I mean, he might just be a real lightweight.
He's such a lightweight. He only ever had like 2 beers. He never entered into any of the drinking contests.
I mean, he's like a very big beanpole. He's probably just he probably just can't handle it.
It appears that we all have much to learn about our beloved prince.
That's one way to put it.
As you walk through the hallways, you finally arrive at the place where you were before, the rows of hospital beds. And a cluster of about 3 nurses is around one bed in particular, the one where you last saw Lachlan. What do you do?
Oh, Jilliana pushes into the middle of it, obviously.
Okay, you rush up and push in, and you see your boyfriend, Lachlan Dara Greyleaf, lying on his back, very still. His hands his arms are under the covers, but his eyes are open, and he blearily looks at you and says, "Hey."
Hey, hi. She shakes her head, blinks, pulls up a finger, starts moving it back and forth in front of his face.
He slowly blinks and just looks at your face directly, Jill. Also, can I get a quick intelligence check from everyone? I think that'll be with disadvantage for Jill.
Okay.
Artie got a nat 20.
Oh, shit.
That's an 8.
A 23 for moi.
A few things happen with such high guesses. Jilliana, you are just so happy to see your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Win. With a roll of 19 for a total of 23, you realize that the whole time you were in... And actually, no, Archie, you would realize... I'll tell you what Win realizes first. The whole time you were in Max's bedroom, he was calling Arturos
That's
in
true.
front of everybody.
That's true.
Oh shit, Arturos called himself Arturos in front of everybody.
It's a very emotional
Yes, you did.
moment.
Mm-hmm. Also, side note, you've realized that Max was calling Antonia Andy.
Did catch that one.
Did catch that one.
And now, Arturos, you realize all of this, but you also realize that your secret might be busted now, but Jilliana's is not yet, and you will probably have to dismiss the nurses immediately to keep it that way. Because you know it's very likely she'll spill the beans if you don't do something.
I'm secretly a king, get out!
He is secretly a king from Storm Space. Everybody out.
Not Storm
Not Storm Space. The water one, she says, waving her hand.
Flood space.
Flood space.
It's flood space.
I would like to say that Wynn just says the water one. Everybody out.
The nurses look very confused. Varas also looks confused, but they all kind of get up, and one nurse starts to protest and another shuts her up and says, "That's the princess!" And they clear out.
Varas, could you close the door behind you?
Jilliana's paid absolutely zero attention.
The rest of the crew stir from the yelling.
Jilliana's still paying zero attention to this. Hey, come on, not at me. What? I need to track your eye movement.
Babe, you're so beautiful.
Come on.
My hero.
Oh, no. Come on.
Wynn casually scoots away to give Lachlan and Jill some privacy.
Lachlan tries to follow your finger with his eyes, but he definitely has a slower response time than usual.
Okay. Alright, what do you remember last?
I remember we were flying, and then I remember it was really bright. Then everything's a bit fuzzy, and something
Okay.
bad happened,
Good.
and now I'm here.
She summons a light cantrip, holds it over his eyes, watches for any pupil dilation.
The pupils do dilate.
Okay, good. Okay, and just basic questions. What's your name?
Your boyfriend.
Lachlan, what's your name?
Lachlan Dara Greyleaf.
There you go. Have you tried moving any of your limbs yet?
He shifts a bit, and you can see that his arms
Slowly?
are moving he shifts a bit, and you can see his arms are moving under the covers. He says, "They wouldn't let me."
Yeah, I know. We just need to figure out exactly what state you're in. You've been out for 4 days. 3 days. It's been a while.
I'm really hungry.
Wynn pulls out another honey bun and then scoots back over to put it in Lachlan's hand and then scoots away again.
So Lachlan's hands are under the blankets. You just kind of
Oh.
lay it on his chest.
I'll put it, like, right on his chin so he can just lean forward and bite it.
And how do you react to that, Jill?
Jilliana's just, like, shifting between, like, medical mode, and if he does start taking a bite, she will start laughing, and then she will very quickly start crying.
He does, in fact, kind of lean forward and try to go hum, but he keeps missing.
The Eberron snacks, Lachlan.
He can't reach the bun. It's too deep under his chin. He's getting honey all over his chin. It's getting stuck in his beard.
Oh, that's right. He's been out. He would actually have a beard right now.
Yeah, his stubble, he's grown from his usual has a bit of stubble to has a small beard.
Oh my god. He's so rugged.
And I'm guessing that, so you do in fact start crying, Jill?
Yes, 100%.
He says, "Hey, babe, don't be like that. Have a honey bun. I can't eat this. It's too far away."
You asshole. I was so worried.
Well, stop it. I'm here.
She will just start kissing him.
There is honey all over his chin, and it is now all over you, and it gets on your clothes, and it's pretty gross.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I have prestidigitation for that.
It's true.
He tries to kiss back, but he's clearly a bit woozy.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, she's a bit of a mess right now. Like,
Mm.
from the honey, but also just emotionally, she's a bit of a mess right now.
You hear a scooting of wheels, and then there's Kara, who is also Flintstoned her way over, and she comes up beside you, Jill, and she gives Lachlan a punch on the shoulder and says, "You fucking asshole, you had me worried." And he says, "Nah, good to see you too." And Kara sniffs at him and rolls back over to her bed.
What's Valley do?
Veli appears to be in some sort of hibernative state.
Okay, they're still out.
In their pile of dirt. You've seen them awake, they just seem to be sleeping right now.
Okay.
And the captain and Mr. Hurst. Mr. Hurst is on a pallet on the floor because no bed can hold him. And the captain is sitting upright in bed, and they're just watching quietly. When Mr. Hurst is sitting up on his pallet, he is the same height as Captain Bondar, who is sitting up in her bed.
He's our big hippo man.
Bondar looks back at Hurst, and they exchange a glance, and then they look back at Lachlan, and Hurst smiles broadly.
When Juliana eventually calms down, she will basically just fish Lachlan's hand out from underneath the covers and hold it.
He gives your hand a squeeze, Jill, and he says, "I feel funny.
What do you mean? Funny how?
Like everything's a bit of a dream. How long was I asleep?
3 days.
That is a long time."
Yeah, you had helm sickness.
Oh, great. He
I
rolls
don't-
his eyes and says, "I've only gotten that once before. I'd hope to never get it again."
Really?
Yeah, when I didn't crash the Iphigenia.
Okay, when you crashed the spaceship. Okay. Can you do me a favor? I mean, we've run through most of the other checks. How are you feeling right now, like magic-wise? Do you think you can give me a light cantrip, or do you need to rest a bit more first?
Lachlan says, "Oh, yeah, sure. What can I cast for you?"
Fuck, I don't know. What do you have?
So you would know that Lachlan has Produce Flame, Thorn Whip, Primal Savagery, and Shape Water.
Okay, can you do me a flame?
Lachlan says, yeah, sure. And he holds his hand out and snaps his fingers. You've seen him do this 1,000 times to light his pipe. And nothing happens. And he stops. And he snaps his fingers again. And nothing happens.
Let's try something else. I don't know what primal savagery. Which one's that one?
Primal Savagery makes him grow his claws and do a melee attack with acid.
Okay. Can you do a savagery? Can you make me some claws?
He has his little orc claws.
Mhm.
His almost, they're like blunt cat claws. Lachlan holds out his hand and makes a gesture you've seen him make before for casting magic, and he extends his claws in the way you've seen him do before. But they just seem normal. He stops and he does something to his mouth, and you've seen him do this to make his tusks extend and his teeth sharpen. That's another possible form for this spell to take. And nothing happens. And his eyes widen, and he looks a bit concerned, and he looks at you, Jill, quietly, just asking a silent question.
Her mouth goes dry. She kind of licks her lips. Maybe you just need to rest longer.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He takes a very deep breath, very slow, and lets it out. And he leaves it at that.
I don't know anything about. I don't know about homesickness. This. I don't think this is normal. I don't think this is a normal thing. I'm gonna need some books.
Lachlan says, I'm sorry. I'm really
tired. No. Don't apologize. You just lie back down and you just get some rest, okay? And we'll figure this out.
All right. And he gives your hand, Jill, one last squeeze, and he lets go and tucks it back under the blanket and closes his eyes. And literally, 10 seconds later, you hear his breathing even out.
Jill slowly steps back, moves back. Oh shit. Guys. And I think she moves a little further back so she can sort of speak to the others in a low voice. He might have lost his magic.
I would think that since helm sickness is technically caused by a sudden flashback of magic, it might just take a little bit of time for it to come back, or for his mind to be able to do it.
Yeah. No, sure, definitely. That's probably right. I mean, I probably just had him try to cast too soon after that, and it'll come back and it'll be fine.
You might need some sort of therapy. You know, you're the one who was talking about, taking it slow after you're healed, even with magic sometimes. So it might just be there's the physical sort of therapy, and then there's magical therapy, things like that.
Right. No, I'm sure you're right. And we're in, a really big hospital with lots of low-level caster healers.
She nods her head. It'll be all right, Jill.
It's like you break a bone and there's no healers to set it back. It takes a while.
Maybe it'll just take a while.
Might just take a while.
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it.
I'm sure that's it.
You hear a voice call to you, and it's the captain, and she's raised a hand. And she says, "Hello, would you three come over here, please?"
Of course, Bondi.
Yes, ma'am.
And she scoots over on her stool.
Artie rolls.
So you arrive and probably stand at the foot of Bondar's bed as she stands there or sits there and looks at you, and Hurst is beside her, and his smile from Lachlan waking up has faded a little, and the captain pauses for a long moment, and then she says, "I don't think you need to call me ma'am anymore."
Captain? We're going to have another ship, whether I have to pay for it or we make Max pay for it. So you're still going to be captain.
I don't think we stop being a crew just because we don't currently have a ship.
Correct.
Unless you're firing us.
Unless you're firing us or you're retiring or something, but if you're retiring, we need to have a party about that.
And
if
also,
you're
if you're
firing
firing us, we would that would be a real bummer to do in a hospital, ma'am.
That would be a real bummer to do in a hospital while we're all still a little injured.
Did you already sell me off to a different ship?
Bonda waits for you all to quiet down, lets you have your little talking moment.
Wow. Wow.
She's used
Have
to
your
us by
little
now.
talking moment, says the dungeon master.
It's what you do. I say something and the three of you just start going at it, and I've got to wait for you guys to finish up what you were saying. Please understand, I say this with the utmost affection. And Bonda looks at Mr. Hurst again and she says, Eustace and I have been talking.
It feels so weird to hear you called Eustace, Mr. Hurst.
Mr. Hurst shrugs.
Also, we're at the point of the conversation where it sounds like you two are about to inform us that you're getting married or something. So,
Oh
keep
no,
on.
they're gonna be our new mom and dad.
Mr. Hurst says, Alana and I have indeed been talking. We're not going to get married. She and I were never interested in each other.
I
good
didn't
that we've
get
ruled
that
that
feeling, but I'm glad we've ruled that out.
Yeah.
Could we get to the end point of this sentence? Because honestly, I'm going on a roller coaster of a journey.
Well, if we probably stop interrupting, it'll probably
That's fair.
They both wait again for the timing to settle down. We're going to settle in the city.
What?
What?
We don't want to sail anymore.
What? What?
I'm old.
You are?
You are?
Yes.
I need to sit down.
Wynn kind of stumbles for a moment and says, "Look, you don't look a day over young Gif."
You got another one of those stools?
Wynn kicks one over to Jill. Where did she get them? Nobody knows.
Jill sits down heavily.
I'm 60 years old, says Mr. Hurst.
Is that old?
A GIF will live to about 70 years. Maximum.
Holy shit!
Oh.
You look great for your age range.
You do?
Thank you. It's from my dad. And he brushes his jacket a little bit. And Alana says, I'm no spring chicken either. And this is true. She's got grey hair. She has
I
wrinkles.
remember
She
she
looks like an
actually
old
had
woman.
great hair. Yeah.
Yeah. And she says, I think if I want to set down some roots, now's my last chance to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to sail till I die. And don't get me wrong, I would if I let myself, but you have all shown me new horizons are sometimes not in wild space.
I don't understand.
I don't know how we showed you that, but
I'm pretty sure my whole hero's journey is in wild space, so...
What about... Wait, what about everything you said on Tafos about the cult and everything?
She looks at Mr. Hurst and says, Eustace and I have agreed that we won't be fit to run the ship for much longer, and this fight could take a long time. We were committed to it until we crashed, and recovery has been slow for us, Juliana. We'll still help however we can, but it'll have to be from the ground.
Oh.
Once we're healed up, we're going to look around, and either here or somewhere else, we'll buy a house and settle down together. We don't know anyone else, and...
I mean, we could take you someplace.
could take you to Port Meridian?
And Mr. Hurst says, I would insist that you take us somewhere.
Wait, I don't understand. Are you buying a house here, or do you want us to take you somewhere else? What?
We will decide where we're going to settle when we're well.
Oh.
Once we can look around and see what the place is like.
And I hope that you two aren't expecting to be able to settle without some sort of retirement party. I don't know where this accent came from, but I'm embracing it.
You're doing a bit of a transatlantic Vincent Price, like House on Haunted Hill, like it's your party.
It's your party. I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to embrace it for as long as it's here.
Oh, it's gone again.
It's gone again, don't worry.
We know that it's just the roots of cacophony coming out, the theatrical, flamboyant
The flamboyant
shapeshifter.
show.
Well, I mean, if we don't have a captain and a first mate,
Kara!
we don't have a crew.
Kara!
Is that it?
Kara! When waves her head, Kara!
Kara?
Kara!
Kara is sitting there placidly, and she says, "We'll have to elect a new captain."
Do you want to be captain, Kara?
Absolutely fucking not.
God fucking damn it!
I mean, if they're not... Wait, Kara, you still...
Technically in the hierarchy of crew, you're third, right?
You were always pretty clear that you were kind of here for the money. I mean, you don't have to... I mean, there's not really a Kestrel crew now, I guess.
Kara repeats, "I said, we will have to elect a new captain."
Have to elect a new captain. Agreed.
And then she freezes and shrinks a little, and almost too quiet to hear mutters, I mean, if you'll have me."
Of course we'll fucking have you! Shut your mouth!
I mean, we wouldn't be able to get very far without the best goddamn helmswoman in this side of wild space.
Exactly!
Possibly for one of the first times ever, not the first time, but one of the first times ever, the corners of her lips twitch into a tiny smile. And then she's back to her blank-faced self and says, "Well, we'll need a new ship."
Don't worry, I plan to make Max buy us one.
Yeah, I mean, he's high on opium right now. You could probably get him to promise anything.
You're right, I'll go do that at some point.
"From what I got from the nurses," says Kara, "ships are in pretty high demand right now because of the war. You're going to need to find a ship that is for sale in the first place."
Wait, the war. Do we know about the war? What is the war?
The
The
whole
war.
Max rebellion thing.
Is it the succession war?
This is a war?
Probably a secession war, yeah. I would think that if anybody could find a for sale ship, it would be royalty, right?
Or commission one?
Correct.
Yes, the war between the rebels and the royalty.
Oh, that's a full-fledged war, not just like a rebellion? Because, like, that is... Wait, why do you need ships for that?
People want to
It's on
Is
leave.
the
it mostly
verge of-
concentrated in the city?
It
People
is on the
mostly
verge
try
of...
to get
Oh
away.
my god.
Sorry.
Kara rolls her eyes and says, "If you will stop interrupting me..."
I just asked a question!
She is back to her grouchy fucking self. "Yes, it is on the verge of becoming a civil war. Everyone is snapping up as many ships as they possibly can right now. Additionally, many ships have been sent out recently to investigate the weird. I don't know why, but a lot of those ships have not returned, and that means there is a dearth of ships in Volcaris right now."
That would have been super great for Max to tell us.
Finally, all shipwrights are working their asses off right now. They are backed up for months, either working for the rebels or for the court.
Oh, and we're only supposed to be here for like a month, and then... Vamoose.
But we have something up our sleeves, I think.
She says, "So we are going to have to work together to find a ship that is not taken, which will be sufficient to take us into wild space again, and then purchase it or otherwise acquire it. And then we can worry about electing a new captain."
I've got an idea.
Hit me.
What do you got?
We've got, in the treasury, we've got Red and her sister's supplies. They have the extra dimensional
Armory.
space. Armory thing, same thing. They've got that little extra dimensional space for their shop. We could probably get them to get us a ship.
I think they might still be bound by the laws of like the material plane just on the size of the storefront, but it's a good lead to start asking questions at least, provided that is one of the pieces of cargo that survived.
I would think that it is, because they mentioned some was protected by magic and...
Oh yeah, no, fingers crossed, but
yeah.
I am not putting my eggs in that basket yet.
I would put at least a couple eggs in there.
I still can't walk very well, so you're all going to have to actually, find out where it is, but I'll help how I can when I can.
I mean, I guess break the news to Lachlan when he's up next.
And Veli.
And Finn. Where's Finn right now?
Finn is actually in the shadow of Mr. Hurst. He raises a hand and you see just a little hand appear beyond like the silhouette of Mr. Hurst.
Wait, sorry, he wouldn't be able to hear us do that.
No, but Mr. Hurst tapped him.
Ah, okay.
Wind waves, and then in sign language will sign.
First, Finn pops up and like rests his shoulders on Mr. Hurst's belly, and then signs to you. Hello.
She signs back. Hello. Have the captain pause. Have Alana. And Mr. Hurst told you that they're retiring.
Finn signs back that yes, he does know about it, and yes, he will cook something up for it.
She gives a thumbs up, and then she signs, if we get a new ship, you up to joining us? We can elect a new captain after that point.
And Finn signs back, I'll think about it.
She nods her head, and then quickly signs, need your hot chocolate.
He signs, at the very least, I'll write you up the recipe.
Jill gives a thumbs up.
She nods her head again.
Okay, well... Cool. I'm gonna go lie face down now.
Alright, I will be back later. Don't mind me. And Wynn pushes up off of her stool, actively standing.
Wait a second.
And
I like the idea that as you talk, you have all learned to, without really thinking, just sign what you're saying, and it's something that happens on its own automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so Jill, you head to one of the beds that you were in before. Maybe you pick the one beside Lachlan, and you flop face down.
I think that was Artie's bed, actually. I mean, she'll head back to the bed that she's been in. She's just gonna lie face down for a while, because that's everything. That's everything about her life that has suddenly changed, and she's not great at that.
Everything is just so much right now.
Change is not her strong suit.
And Wynn, you mentioned standing up?
Yep, she's going to head out the door, into the hallway. Are the nurses there?
I'd like to know what you're going to try and do.
Well, first she's going to be like, you're good to go back in now if you want to fuss over things. And she's going to go, are any of the guards here, could they point me on how to get to our armory? The armory thing where all of our stuff is? Can I go there? Am I allowed to? Talking to whoever's nearby.
The nurses head back in, and outside is one of the guards. You recognize this guard as one of Antonia's entourage.
Okay. And
the guard, she says, yes, I have authority to take you to the armory to see your stuff. It's not actually the armory, it's a royal vault, but yes, it's nearby.
Sorry.
We'll just have to walk across the city for a bit. I'll need to get a second guard, okay?
Understandable, I'll wait right here.
Very good. And Arturos, what are you going to do in this time?
Artie's going to try and sneak back into Max's room.
Oh my god.
I have to know how stealthy Artie is.
And how well he can navigate.
He does this all on the rolly chair.
Wynn just watches him roll.
First, I need an intelligence check.
That's a 12.
I just need to check exhaustion.
Am I exhausted?
Yeah, you still have one level left.
We had 4 levels of exhaustion and it's day 3.
Alright.
Yeah. So give me one more roll and we'll take the lowest one.
Oh, that's a 6.
So, Arturos, you keep rolling away, and the first time you go, a nurse catches you pretty quickly and, in the most gentle, ushery way, herds you back to the dorm. You know how, like, a really good librarian can be very, very nice and also still just absolutely force you to do something? It's like that.
He's like, no.
The second time, you leave, and you just keep finding yourself back at the dormitory. Like you've gone around in a circle. And you go a different route, and you turn around, and you come back, and you're at the dormitory again. And then your chair breaks.
He's on the floor. He's lying on the ground. This is a cruel twist of fate. How could they do this to me?
I like the idea that you're just like 3 meters away from the dormitory door, and the nurses are looking at you, and you're just lying there face down.
I also like the idea that Wynn is there too, waiting on the guards, and she's just watching Artie lie there face down.
Arturos, do you just eventually haul yourself back to get some sleep? I think you'd be pretty tired out from that at your level of, exhaustion.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, exhaustion. Yeah, that too. Yeah, he probably just goes back to sleep.
When a guard eventually arrives and brings back the second guard, and the two of them lead you out to basically out through a whole bunch of winding twists and turns, and eventually they take you outside, and you're in a fairly nice garden. There's, plants, there's some low stone walls, you hear the bustle of the city outside, and they actually help you into a pretty fine-looking carriage.
I'm not one of the royals. You both know that, right?
And, the first guard says, "This is not a royal carriage, my lady."
All right, thank you. She then climbs inside and settles down.
She climbs in with you, and the other guard, the male, climbs on top and starts the horses up. And you, for about half an hour, you drive across the city.
She'll strike up small talk, chat. She's basically from the Midwest of Elflandia.
Elflandia.
So she is great at small talk. She talks with this guard, asks her name, asks how her day is going,
where she grew up.
Yeah, tell me about your life. What did you go?
Well, after talking with her, you find out that this guard's name is Herenia Lupersa.
Oh, right.
You notice from when you're talking with her that she's about 7'1". She has excessive jewelry, more so than you'd expect a guard to be wearing. And she's a bit theatrical sometimes, but overall pretty friendly.
Oh, wonderful.
She's really fucking tall.
Average height for a Verdoni.
What? I thought Max was average height.
Yeah.
Well, that's like okay.
That's still 6'7".
Yeah, 6'7". That's still like 5 inches taller than Max, who is average.
So now you know her name. A few little things about her. She was born here. She was a soldier when she was young, and now she is a royal guard after she won a few medals.
I assume full valor in battle?
And she says something like that.
She nods her head.
But I don't like to talk about it.
That's fair. When talks about her family, brings up that she's a mean harmonica player, and just generally keeps, the small talk going. Proper way, Midwestern way.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll only quiet down as they start rolling to a slow stop.
So what you have arrived at as you step out of the carriage is, in fact, a moat. And there is a gatehouse, and beyond that gatehouse is a wall. And beyond that wall there is a keep. And beyond that keep there is a castle, a full-on palace. The keep looks rugged and utilitarian. The palace is incredible. This white stone that the whole city is seemingly formed out of, it is polished. It's bright. It is almost too brilliant to look at. And it's been painted all over with these beautiful designs. There are plants hanging all over it everywhere. It's lovely. So instead of taking you up to the gatehouse, Herenia brings you off to the side while the other guard stays with a wagon. And you start to hear the sound of an occasionally barking dog. And she brings you in to what appears to be a small low building that is a kennel. And she brings you inside further and further past empty cages and full cages with dogs in them until you arrive at one particular... It's like a small room with some straw in it. In the center of it is a large shell.
Lawnmower! She says, pausing her following to squat by the kennel.
And all around the shell, dogs are curled up and sleeping.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no!
And there is even a kennel boy leaning against the shell with a hat pulled down over his eyes. And one of the dog raises its head and looks at you and lets out a low boof.
Wind lets out a breath. Oh, he's made so many friends.
And your guard says, "Boy, wake up!" And the boy scrambles and jumps to his feet.
She thwacks Herena and puts a finger to her lips.
No, it's too late. The boy jumps to his feet and salutes, and all the dogs wake up and start barking, and the boy's like, quiet, come on, get out of here, go on, get. And after a minute, manages to kind of herd the dogs away. It's kind of chaotic.
Wynn's family's very large. She is used to chaos, if nothing else. She kind of looks sad and she's like, I wish I could have recorded that. Everybody back home would have loved that.
Herenia says, boy, is the snail okay? And the boy says, yes, miss, we've been feeding it bones. It seems pretty happy with them. And Herenia says, good, run along now. And the boy tips his hat and scrambles.
She moves forward to gently poke the shell. You all right there, Lord Moa?
A single flail, extends out from under the front of the shell, kind of boofs against your leg, Wynn, tapping against you, and then seemingly satisfied, pulls back under, and you see the shell kind of wriggle a bit like it's settling down. This is what you've seen Lawnmower do when it's sleepy.
She nods her head at that. She reaches into her bag, pulls out a few space barnacles, and puts them down nearby, and then pulls back out of the cage. The kennel.
As you move back, one more flail comes out and kind of taps around near the base of the shell, gets on the barnacles, quickly scoops around them and pulls them underneath the shell.
I need to know whether or not he's been, slowly bonking around the room sometimes just for fun.
He likes to bonk.
He's a little Roomba boy.
And Herenia says, your snail can stay here as long as is needed.
Good. He'll need to stay here until we get ourselves a new ship. And she straightens back up, kind of closes up behind her, and then she nods to Herenia so she can keep leading the way.
Herenia says, yes, whenever you need him, just come and get him.
She nods her head.
All right. Onwards to the quartermaster. You leave the small, low buildings that are the kennels and walk a short distance through the city. It remains mostly the same down here, except that the buildings are not painted quite as brightly. The paint's mostly worn away, but they still tower into the sky, right up to the heavens. And the people walking around are wearing slightly less nice clothing than you were before. Everyone gives Herenia a very wide berth. And you walk for about 10 minutes. You see a few hawkers who close up their stalls as Herenia walks past. And finally you come to an area that looks like a bit of a nicer building, a bit taller, well made. It's got some bars over the windows. And you go inside and it looks like a kind of bank, almost.
I was getting a bank vibe.
Except there are soldiers behind it, behind the counter, instead of, clerks. And Herenia goes up and exchanges a few quiet words with the clerk. And you're brought to a back room. It's unlocked a few times, there are several locks on it, and unbolted and unbarred. But you're brought in, and then you see, in this small wooden room, the remains of what was on your ship. There is a few large crates, about the size and shape of, coffins or caskets, but, for cargo instead of bodies. There are a handful of miscellaneous trinkets. There is a big metal tea kettle that you have brewed tea in many times. And that's it.
She walks up to the cargo things and kind of taps them. Where were we supposed to drop them off info done?
I don't think we had a specific destination, just in the city.
Okay.
Bondar knows where.
Okay.
Yeah, Bondar worked that out with Red.
Got it. I will ask Bondar where that's going, and we can get that moved.
Herenia says, if you'll be staying at the hospital a few more days, then I'm sure we can arrange to have these brought up for you.
That would be appreciated. These cargo will be moved somewhere in particular. I'll just need to figure out where.
Of course.
We signed a contract to get them here for a shopkeep. I am wondering, Herenia, does Vodon have any sort of newspaper? Hawker? Anything of the sort?
Herenia stops and says, we have the town criers?
Town criers. Excellent. I assume they're normally on the more popular corners.
Morning, noon, and night.
Thank you. All right.
Is there something particular you want to know?
I was going to be looking for well, I do know that ships are in high demand right now, but I didn't know if somebody was offering one for an exorbitant price or some such.
And Herenia says, ma'am, you will be very hard pressed to find a ship these days.
I understand, and that's why I want to get started right away.
Jemjammer is performed by Annie Creighton, Anna Emmeline, Rio Rios, and Mackenzie Weaver, and is edited by Jake Mason. Our cover art is by Canary Witch, who can be found at canarywitch.carrd.co, and our character design is by Rio Rios, who can be found at rios.com. Our opening and closing music is by Saad Akhtar Ali. For bonus content, such as Jilliana's private diary, behind-the-scenes homebrew stuff, and other features from our other shows, I Will Fight You and Date Me Dammit, our Patreon has it all from only $1 a month at patreon.com/thejemjam. Thank you so very much for listening. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.
I am now recording. Hi again, Jake.
Recording.
Hello again, Jake. I am also
Hi,
now
Jake.
recording.
Jake, I'm here again.
All right, numbers